Hi travelers, Tara here. Today is October 4th. We are coming up on our full moon. Whenever there's a full moon, let's say if you're standing over the top of the earth, okay? And what happens is the full moon is going to show up on one side of the earth and the sun is going to be on the other. Yeah? So that means that they are opposing each other. Now, we will be having the full moon falling at about 11 or 12 degrees Aries. Aries rules the first house of self, your reputation, your ego, your profile, how you are seen. And the sun will be falling at 12 degrees Libra. Libra rules all sorts of relationships, all partnerships, okay? But it also speaks to beauty, grace, tact, and diplomacy. Now, for some of you, this is going to be whenever there's a full moon, particularly in fire, there can be a lot of emotions that come up. So for some of you, this could be about a past, present, or future partnership, okay? Or it could be about an enemy because Libra also rules legal issues. We are in the last stages of Jupiter in Libra. Jupiter in Libra brings about opportunities to change partnerships or opportunities to improve partnerships or opportunities to shed those partnerships that are no longer in our highest good. Whenever you have Aries rules me and Libra rules we. So there is a huge opposition going on between the sun and the moon that it will maybe bringing up issues about maybe how you feel in partnership with someone or how you feel in partnership. Say you're in a business partnership. This could be, for some of you, it could be about divorce or separation. For others of you, it could be about joining forces with someone. For some of you, it could be legal issues. How can I best be true to myself but still be able to get what I want out of the relationship? Fairness and balance. That's what Libra represents. So for those of you who are website members and you have your charts, I want you to take a look at your charts to see if you have anything falling at 12 degrees Libra, doesn't matter what it is, and also 11 or 12 degrees Aries. If you do, then this is some kind of trigger for you. Now, of course, depending on what you have going on in your personal, for some of you, you may not be in partnership with anybody. For some of you, this could be about a job. You go to work, you've been working, so the job is your partner, your work. So this could be about maybe not feeling as though you're not getting the recognition that you deserve, or maybe it's that other people are not doing their fair share of work, and it's creating problems for you. So this could play out in many, many different ways. In order to gain any insight into your specific personal story requires a personal reading. You can go over to go up to the little eye that shows up on the right hand side of the screen here. That'll click. If you click on it, it'll take you directly over to hover your mouse over it, it'll show you, then click on the thing, it'll take you directly over to the website. I have several levels of card reading. I do private video readings, and those are yours to keep. You get the link, you download it. I don't put it up on YouTube. I put it up through Google Drive. You can access it, download it, save it. It's yours to keep. I do Akashic Records reading, etheric cord cutting reading. I do astrology readings. If you want to join for the membership, you're not joining the membership just to get the individual videos. You get the individual videos, you get articles, you get 2 free natal charts. So there's tons of information. If you want to go over to the website and click and check out the comment section, that can kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing and how I'm trying to bring information to you. My role is to help you to empower yourselves to make the best decisions for you, not to tell you what to do. Okay, let's get some I feel this is a huge time of change happening. There's so many horrible things that have happened within the last, just say, month, between the hurricanes and the shootings and, and not just the mass shooting in Vegas. There were also, that same day, there were 50 homicides, 50 shooting deaths in Chicago. So there's a lot of, I don't know, strife and discord around. And basically the only thing we can do as humans is try to remain in that higher energy, that higher space of even if we don't agree with people, to try to be as respectful as we can and agree to disagree. It doesn't have to break down to fights and arguments or anything like that. You can only control yourself. You can't control anyone else's behavior or what they think or what they say. Only you are responsible for maintaining control over yourself, how you think, what you say, and how you respond. Now, I have here we're just going to use the regular Rider-Waite deck. I have two Sibila decks that I'm not sure exactly which ones I'm going to be using. And then I'm going to close this reading out with a Heart Oracle Tarot and an Angel Answer card. For those of you on the website membership, I will be posting up 2 romance readings in the new romance gallery today. So kind of check back later on this afternoon. I'm not exactly sure. I've got a couple more articles to write. So my friend Nicole, and her channel is Angelic Therapy and Healing, gave me a really great healing session last night for my foot. You can go over and check her site out. Again, that is Angelic Therapy and Healing. Type it in. She's really interesting. Her guides are very interesting. Sweet, sweet person. So let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, Nicole, if you're watching this. Okay, so we're going to put 9 cards down. I have no clue what this reading will be about. This is general, and the messages will not resonate with everyone. So take whatever you can, disregard what you cannot. 9 cards down. 8 of coins. 9 of swords. I don't know if you guys can see those. Let me see if I can put it down there. Okay. A Queen of Wands. Well, there's our, per se, personification of our Aries, okay? In one respect. That's the energy. 3 of Wands. Page of Wands. And the Magician. Wow. 2 of Wands. The Star card. Wow. And the 2 of Cups. Well, if this isn't all about me versus we, then I don't know what is. Underneath, we have the 5 of Wands. So, and look, it's heavily weighted towards the Wands. 1, 2, 3, 4 Wands cards. The Queen, the 3, the Page, and the 2. We have 1 Swords, 1 Coins card, and 1 Cup card. And we also have 2 Major Arcana. Now, I have 2 Court cards here. The thing is that it's the Court cards usually represent people. So if we're looking at this Queen of Wands, she's going to be a fire sign. So she's going to be a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. For some of you, these could be moon signs or rising signs. Please keep in mind that when you get a personal reading from me, I do not read for moon signs and rising signs. I bring that up during these readings because I'm reading for so many people. And then we have a Page of Wands. And this is typically going to represent like a child, from an infant to, let's say, maybe their 20s. All right. Would also be a fire sign, moon or rising, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But what I'm picking up from this page is that this is some kind of news coming in, some kind of message coming in. Now, for some of you, and listen, no matter whether you are a water sign or a fire sign, we can all embody the different qualities, the different elements. If we are sad or forlorn or very sentimental, that's a water energy. If we are all about going out and getting and doing and, you know, not letting anything stop you, that's a fire energy. If we're more in a pensive state where we're thinking and we're coming up with ideas or we're trying to communicate, that's an air energy. Okay, so if you're more grounded and you feel okay and stable where you are, that's more an earth energy. So just because this Queen of Wands has shown up doesn't mean that this does not relate to you. All the wands are traditionally, they are associated simply with work, okay, and career. But for me, I always interpret the wands as simply being your passion, your desire, your ambition, your drive. But it could also be about anger, aggression, heat, competitiveness, two sides of the same coin. So what I get for some of you is that some kind of news or message has come in or will be coming in for you. Now, I see certainly that for some of you, you have been working quite hard, quite diligently on perhaps some kind of project. Maybe you've just been keeping your nose to the grindstone and trying to bring in more finances. And that would be a great thing because Libra is ruled by Venus. Venus co-rules two signs. They rule Libra, which is the partnership, beauty and balance and harmony, but also Taurus, which is our personal monies, our values, our movable possessions. So for some of you, I feel that there's something that you want very much, and that you've been working very diligently on. For some of you, this may have, maybe some new thing has come into you, or maybe you've been working on something new. August 23rd to September 1st. This is the time frame for the 8 of Coins. It represents the time frame of the sun in Virgo. So we had a whole bunch of transits across Virgo. We had Leo, Cancer, Virgo. Now there's a huge bunch of transits across the sign of Libra, and then there are going to be transits across the sign of Scorpio. So for many of you, I think something has been activated. Let's put it that way. And you've come to either put your nose to the grindstone, or some of you fear that what you've been working on so hard, what you've been focused on so hard, is not going to come to fruition. Okay? But yet you still have that desire to do that. You're not going to allow anything to prevent you from doing whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. The 8 of Coins is the card of the apprentice. Okay, this is about no matter what comes your way, you just continue working and refining, and you do it through the details. That's what Virgo represents. Virgo, the house of Virgo, the 6th house, represents work, service, and duty. Okay, not only to others, but also to ourselves. Okay, and that could be why that Libra thing might be an issue for some of you. You know, why am I continually putting in all of this effort and doing all of this work, but I'm not seeing any return on that? That could be what this 9 of Swords is all about for some of you. Across the center, I have the 3 of Wands. Okay, past, present, future, past, present, and future. So down this past row here, 8 of Coins, 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands. Some of you have been working, as I say, very hard. And now you're thinking about either launching your ships, or whatever you've been working on, you're looking for some kind of return on that. See, he's standing on a bluff. Okay. And he is either watching those ships go out to sea, or he's waiting for them to come back with news. Okay. News to move forward. But I see that for some of you, some kind of hesitation has shown up. Now, this represents the sun in Aries, this 3 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands represents the Mars in Aries. Mars is the ruler of Aries. And what is Mars? Mars is the god of war. He's the god of competitiveness, the god of anger, the god of aggression, speed, heat. So perhaps for some of you, it goes from a 3 to a 2 in the past. So maybe some of you have tried to take a step back on whatever this thing is. And the 2 of Wands says that you have a choice. There's a choice here to be made. The choice of whether I'm going to continue doing it the old way, or if I'm going to do it a new way. Doesn't mean that the thing that you've been working on is not valid and that there will be no return on it. It's simply a matter of, in a sense, to me, it reads like a change of direction. Okay. This happens because some news comes in. This Page of Wands. Now, typically when I see this Page of Wands, it speaks to me of news coming, and he's faced from west to east. So for some of you, this could be a message that has come from west to east, because here with the Two of Wands, I see you looking back from east to west. Okay. So for some of you, also the Page of Wands can be about a new spiritual journey. And I'm sensing that for some of you, this kind of came out of the blue. And the reason why I say that is, here's the Magician. And in one respect, the Magician is saying, this 3 with this page makes out a 4 of Wands. So this really, to me, speaks to some type of striving for some type of stability. Now, I don't know if this is stability in your work, in your career, in your status, how you are seen here with this Queen of Wands. And typically the Queen of Wands will represent, if not a fire sign, by profession, she's going to be an entrepreneurial kind of person. She's going to be someone who perhaps owns her own business, and she's a real go-getter. She's fun, she's flirty, she's sexy. She kind of knows who she is. Something else that this Queen is trying to tell me, and I'm not exactly sure just yet what this is trying to tell me. So just kind of bear with me while I talk this out. But I also see that this Queen has gotten some news, or has determined that there's a new direction she wants to go in. She too has a choice to make. Now, when I say that with the Magician is all about marrying your personal will with your intentions. Okay. What do magicians do? Magicians create, they do tricks. They create illusions, but that requires study. It requires practice. It requires diligence. It requires focus and determination. And so what this row is telling me is that whatever this new thing is, this message, this new, it's not an ace, but it's almost, the energy of the page feels like an ace. And this is telling me that something new has come in. And I think for some of you, this new thing has come in through sheer manifestation of it. Okay. But it has also come through, I think, a new partnership, something new on the horizon. Now, here is the Star card, and the Star card represents Aquarius. There's a lot of Martian energy here. This is Mars and Gemini. This is Mars and Aries. These are all fire cards. Here we have two air cards, 3 air cards. This represents, Mercury represents the sign of Gemini, but he also represents the sign of Virgo. So Mercury is also a co-ruler of 2 signs. We can see here with this 8 of coins over to the Magician that whatever this thing is that you've been working on, you are really giving it your all. And you've come to a place now where there's a decision that you need to make. Okay? And I do feel that this is a partnership, going into partnership with someone else. Right down the center, however, I feel that many of you either feel as though this is too good to be true, or perhaps you're not exactly sure what the message is or what it is you should do about it. But the Star card, it also represents Venus. And this is Venus in Cancer. I think for some of you, this is a moment of pause and hesitancy. And the reason why there's pause and hesitancy is this 5 of Wands here. I have 2 twos. 2 twos speak to justifiable faith in your partner. It also speaks to some kind of marriage or commitment. So if this is not a romantic relationship, then this is about another kind of partnership. This could be going into business with someone, finding a new business partner. The 2 of Cups also speaks to having the ability here with the Magician to marry the male and female parts of yourself. In other words, try to maintain this balance. That's what this two speak to a balance. But again, there's a choice here to be made. And I'm picking up for some of you, it's a choice of whether to continue doing what you're doing in terms of your work, whatever projects you have going on, and also this new element of a relationship. So I kind of feel like it's both things at the same time. However, the fives are about new elements coming in, something coming in to destabilize the situation. Okay. This is the energy of Saturn in Leo. And wherever Saturn touches, he restricts and he limits. Well, what does Leo rule? Leo rules lovers, courtly affairs, affairs. It rules children, those that generation 20 plus years behind you. It rules lovers, lovers who may have children from a different relationship, or you have children from a different relationship. This could be about in vitro fertilization. It could be about trying to decide whether or not you want to have kids or not. It could be about godchildren, nieces, nephews. But it also, Leo rules joy and self-creativity and self-expression. So something has come in to destabilize this. It's kind of restricted at the moment. In other words, perhaps it's not moving the way that you would like it to, you feel it to, you want it to. Perhaps the other person, why do I say the other person? I keep saying the other person because I'm thinking about Libra. Libra really is coming through this very strongly. The house of partnership, of marriage, of commitment. So it may not necessarily be one person. It could be you, he, she, they, them. Okay, so there's a conflict here. This is what the fives are telling me. Fives say that something has come in to kind of destabilize this situation. Fives say that whatever this thing is, it's beyond your control. Okay, it's not a 7, it's a 5. And so outside influences have come in to kind of throw everything in a tizzy. Now, sometimes for some of you, this may be about arguing over children. This could be about arguing like children. This could be everybody else trying to throw their 2 cents worth in so that everybody can be heard. See that? Let's go to the Sibilas. I have absolutely, the only repeater cards are the 2 2s with the star card right in the center. Now, the star card also represents the astrology and or the cosmology of something. Okay. In other words, there's some kind of, we know that we have this full moon coming up. What I want to look at is this 9 of Swords. Now, the 9 of Swords represents the energy of Mars and Gemini. That's the worry. Okay. You can see from the card the person is having nightmares. So this could be either through something that you did or maybe you wish you had done. Gemini is also a communicative sign. So maybe this is something about something, you've been working on something and then you said the wrong thing, or maybe you wish you had said something else. You know, I should have said that instead. You know, I didn't say anything and I should have. That could play out any kind of way. There's a lot of fire here. I would like to, I'm not liking the way that's smelling. I would like to advise you that if there's anything you need to get off your chest, if you can, try to give yourself 3 days after this full moon, because sometimes that all of this fire energy can be, this could be a warning telling you that, you know, there's a fight brewing. And this is not to say don't say anything at all, okay, because that can make you resentful. This is to take a step back. Again, you have a choice in this. Kind of take a step back and allow this intense fire moon energy to pass. And while you're taking that step back, do a little bit of soul searching about how you want to say what you want to say. How do you want to get your message across? Because you can do it in a manner which is kind and loving and compassionate, right? If someone else is, if you're in conflict with someone else, you know, if they're being harsh or abrasive or whatever, you can simply say, you know, I don't think now is the time that we should talk about this. You want to be careful what you're saying. Doesn't mean you won't be able to come back after this full moon and say what it is you need to say. What we want is cooler heads to prevail, right? Dileranti, sospiri, belvedere. I do feel for some of you, this is about, in a sense, kind of feeling as though all of the effort that you put in was for naught. You've been waiting for that ship to come in. This is the sighing, the longing, the waiting. It's repeated here with this Three of Wands. Here's the hesitancy. Yeah. And trying to make the determination if it's time for you to move on. I feel that for some of you, yes, you have already made that decision. Well, now it is, how do I do that? How do I summon everything that I need to summon in order to move this forward? Even though I don't see any movement here. And this is not necessarily movement on the physical plane, but on an emotional plane. Okay, let me look at this Two of Wands here to see what the Two of Wands is trying to tell me. I do feel that indeed for some of you, you have already made the determination to move into another. There perhaps is a lot of conflict around this. For others of you, you may have determined that you want to stay. Now that's what the Aries Libra thing is all about. Me versus we. There can be no we if there is no me, right? So first we have to kind of look after ourselves. This is never selfish. If you're coming from a place of true love and compassion for each other. For some of you, I feel that you're going to make the decision that, you know what, this relationship has run out of road and there is something better for me. Okay. For others of you, you're going to stay the course. So this is a very, very pivotal time. No matter which side of the coin that you fall on, I think you should, again, take these next 3 days after the full moon to speak upon these issues if you have not already. This is a choice, I think, for some of you. Here we have the family and friends card. Now, the Sibila are very, very precise on the two types of happiness. This is family happiness and friendship. Here we have someone contemplating, meditating on this, a man. But we also have this La Namica. Now, this La Namica can be a third party, that new element that has come in, this news. We have those 3 wands. But it could also be about you yourself being your own worst enemy in this. Okay? And someone not wanting to, they're trying to keep the peace, so to speak. They're contemplating keeping the peace. The true value of self, showing yourself as who you are. Now, what I want to look at, I'm going to look at this page. Again, truly, for some of you, this could be about a third party coming in. We did have that 3 of Swords underneath there. So let's see what this Page of Wands. And if that's the case, some of you are like, you know what, I can't do that anymore, and you're going to move on. For others of you, this is about maybe forgiving, okay, someone and trying to work it out. The Letterato, well, there we have it. Some kind of discovery, some news coming in. Sacerdote. This speaks to faith. It speaks to confession. It speaks to counseling. It also speaks to a single man. And the disgrazia. Well, perhaps some of you are discovering that you have placed your faith in the wrong person. Okay. Perhaps some of you are saying, you know what? Counseling is not even going to help this. Perhaps some of you are discovering that the person that you were with has not failed. It's sort of like cheating, but not cheating. I don't get the sense that this was about a marriage, but it very well, or at least if not a marriage, it's a very, very committed relationship. And you're discovering now that one of the partners, I don't want to say committed a sin because that's not right. Really that the faith has gone up in flames. And this could either be for a man. Maybe he's found out that his female companion or partner has cheated on him, or it could be, you know, you're a female and you find out that your male companion has cheated on you. This is going to apply whether same-sex or heterosexual. Whomever's going to take the role of the male, whomever's going to take the role of the female. I think this is a very again, it's a time to kind of take a step back before you say something that you can't take back. I want to look at this Magician card, because sometimes a Magician card can be about putting on an act for people, okay? A show. An illusion. Il nemico. Well, isn't that interesting? The Gran Consolazione and the Stanza. I feel that this is a situation in which somebody feels that they've gotten away with something. There's some kind of illusion that they're presenting, some kind of magic trick, some kind of something they're perhaps making you believe one thing when it's another. But we see here the Il Nemico. If this is about a past relationship, you're breaking up with each other, there is something still, I think, that the person that has not come about yet. Something that hasn't been discussed. This is the stanza, the room. This card speaks to communications, but there's nobody there. For others of you, I feel that this is about wanting to get back together with someone, but I don't think that's going to, the sense is that that's not going to work. It's time now to move on. That's very difficult to hear, I know. But that partnership now is over, and it's time for you to go on a new journey to find that partner that you can get that with. Now, let's pull these cards up. I want you to formulate your question. One question for the Angel Answer cards. Well, and this is the final no. It has the, what do you call it? The exclamation point on it. Let's pull one Heart Oracle Tarot. Wow. It is the Hierophant. And this card represents, what was I telling you? Venus, which rules what? The 7th house of Libra and the 2nd house of Taurus, your personal values. This could be finding out that you and a partner no longer share the same values. This could even be arguments over money, 5 of Wands, or property, division. Now, let's read the No card. It says the response to your inquiry is a firm no. You needn't worry, though, as you will see why this was the perfect answer as time goes by. The Hierophant card, the Teach card. The keywords are shepherd, advise, learn, wisdom, reflection, and beliefs. And I'm telling you, Aries, the Aries Libra axis is a reflection. You attract, the way you appear in your first house is what you attract from the 7th house. Okay. So that person that's opposite you, he, she, them, they, okay, is a reflection of you. All right. And you are a reflection of them. Now, what's interesting about what's happening now with this full moon is that on the solar sign chart, Libra now sits on the 1st house. This is the time of the Libran birthdays, October, right? We're going to be moving into Scorpio. So that means that Aries is actually sitting on the 7th house. And whenever you have fire sitting in that 7th house, this can be a time when there's lots of strife going on, lots of, passionate emotions. Passion can be good and then passion can be bad, right? So this is a reflection. Although the name of this card is Teach, it brings the dual energies of both teaching and learning. You have much wisdom to offer regarding affairs of the heart. This wisdom has been gained through all your joys and your sorrows. At this time, there may be an opportunity to assist someone regarding a relationship. That person may even be you. When the opportunity arises, remember the shepherd, one who gently guides his sheep along the desired path. Use that same gentleness in guiding yourself or others. There may also be an opportunity to learn right now. This could take place in many ways, through conversations, observations, or even reflection. Take a moment to reflect on what you have already learned about your relationships and what you still want or need to understand. Then seek a teacher who will help you arrive at that understanding. The downside of the Teach card is when our teachers want us to blindly follow their direction. In relationships, this often leads to restrictions and disappointments. These teachers come in many forms: family, friends, society, and so on. If a relationship is not going smoothly, maybe it's time to examine the beliefs you hold about relationships. Are they truly your beliefs, or have you unintentionally accepted the beliefs of others? And these are beliefs that no longer serve you. The affirmation of this card is, in matters of the heart, I offer what I know, learn what I don't know, and remain true to myself. And that is the Aries Libra axis. For those of you who have your charts and membership to the website, you can go in and type in astrological axes and read. There's a couple of articles, I think, on that. Also go back and read the beginning astrology articles that I posted up with the houses and the signs and those things. Okay, so that's what I have for you. I hope that message helped, and until next time, namaste.